Okay, let's be honest. What's going on right now in the world? Iran is still kind of fucked. They got shit going on. Nothing's really changed. Nancy's finally done her job. She sent over the articles to the Senate. They're looking at it today. I don't know what the fuck happened. So nobody's talking about anything else. I don't really know about anything else. The women haven't done anything to deserve my gaze yet. So, that's fucking right. Flat Earth, bitches. Alright. What have we done so far? We kind of poked around and just kind of generally talked about it. Alright. We went cold, hard, fucking logic. Right? And then we kind of did more of a... let's really kind of dig into the mind of the flat earther. Let's try and really figure out, you know, the perspectives between the two groups of people, and let's see if we can kind of bring the hostility down to a point where we're willing to kind of talk. And then I immediately ruin that by putting up just straight up making fun of them fucking video. Today I'm gonna kind of ruin it further because I can't help myself. It's stupid to me. And we're gonna actually look at the flat earth model. Oh shit, yeah. We're gonna look at the flat earth model. Right? Now we're gonna try and dig into the science of shit. Okay? Some of this I'm gonna be a lot better at than others. Alright? We're gonna get the shitty one out of the way fucking first right off the bat, right? This 8-inch per mile drop thing, right? Now, again, astrophysics is something that I like to study. The math is above my head. I don't have the time nor the desire to put the brain power into learning the mathematics of astrophysics. Okay? So, right, I'm just going by kind of what I hear and what I can kind of extrapolate from what I'm hearing. It's called 8-inch per mile drop, right? Now, my guess is that if you boil it down essentially to the root, right, under absolutely perfect conditions, we're cutting out all the variables. Like, this is how I take out all the math, right? I'm taking out all the math. What are we left with? If you cut out all of the variables, every single one of them, what 8-inch per mile drop means to me is, for every mile away from an object you go, it will drop 8 inches beneath the curvature of the earth, right? From the bottom up, you will lose 8 inches per mile, right? There's a building, you go a mile away from it, right? And this is all, again, this is all under perfect conditions. They're both on the exact same plane. There's no topography at play. There's no distance of eye. I'm not talking about a person standing. I'm talking about eyes literally at ground level. Like, I'm talking perfect conditions. 8 inches per mile, right? Now look, this is a ruler. I have my finger marked here at 8 inches. Here to here, that is 8 inches, right? 8 inches. 8 inches. This is 8 inches from like a foot away. Maybe a foot and a half, I don't know. This is like 8, for me this is 8 inches from a foot away, right? Now, a mile away from me, I would imagine that 8 inches, under perfect conditions, because again, I'm trying to cut out all the math, that 8 inches is going to look about that big. Alright? A mile away, that 8 inches is going to look about that big. So, it's a thing that I don't have the time or the desire to put the amount of study into to learn how it actually works when you throw in the variables. Okay? I'm saying that because, again, this is the worst fucking thing I have. This is fucking the worst point that I have. But you have to understand, at distance, things tend to shrink. They don't actually shrink. They don't actually become smaller in size. That's not how it's working, right? But they get smaller, right? So 8 inches from a mile away is going to be pretty fucking small. How many inches are in a mile? That's a long fucking way away. It's going to be teeny fucking tiny. My guess is you're not even going to be able to see the ruler, because it'll be gone. Anyways, so that's what I got. Like, that's kind of what I got for that one. All those videos of people fucking looking at stadiums and fucking oil platforms and shit like that, and they're zooming in and out and shit like that, and they're going, what the fuck? These things should be gone. There's a lot of variables involved. I don't have the time nor the desire to fucking learn the mathematics of astrophysics. But my question to you is, in what manner did you study the mathematics of astrophysics? Did you watch YouTube videos of people looking at these things and going, I don't understand? And then you kind of cursory glanced at what the fucking formula is and went, yeah, I don't fucking get that at all, so I'm just going to go with them. Like, if that's your research, that's shit research. Your research in this case should be learning the mathematics of astrophysics, right? Which I think would help all of us if you guys would try that. And then you research that and learn how that works. And then maybe you'll have a better grasp of the mathematics of physics so that you can understand how that shit works. Just throwing that out there. Just, that's, that if you're having a problem with the math, learn the mathematics. The Hyperion way, right? Ad astra. To the stars. So, I'm trying. So anyways, like, there we go. That's pretty much all I fucking got for that shit, right? What were some other things that people were throwing out there that don't actually come into kind of the model in the way that I'm gonna go with it? I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. So alright, let's go to the map of flat Earth. No. That is the UN logo. That is where the flat earthers stole the map for the flat Earth. Alright, here is the actual map of flat Earth. There you go. Alright, so you got the flat Earth, right? Then you got your sun and moon. They rotate inside the dome, by the way. And they rotate around. That's how you get the day and night, right? You see where the sun's shining down, that's day. And where there is no sun, that's night, right? Like, first of all, looks photoshopped to me. Secondly, like, I know that you guys don't really buy the whole gravity thing. It's magic to you. I understand that. Here's the way that I kind of came up with to describe how gravity works for the spheres of the world. Take a baseball, right? You wrap your hands around it and you squeeze it. That's how gravity works, right? Your hands would be essentially gravity in this kind of scenario. The ball would be the earth. Your hands pressing in on it from all sides would be gravity exerting the force of gravity on the ball of the earth, right? But like the lowest point, you guys don't get it with the water thing. Here's like this is a water thing, right? It's funny. You go to, wait, I'll go ahead and read it. If gravity is not strong enough to stop a small stream from flowing to its lowest point, then what is stopping the oceans north of the equator from emptying into the oceans south of the equator? This is what the Earth would look like if we lived on a globe. Gravity is pseudoscience, a theory that can't be proven. And then you got the meme. Now, lowest point. You're thinking very flat earther when you're thinking lowest point. You're thinking of a planet that's a table. The lowest point, therefore, being the ground. Like, just the ground. Because it's flat. It's fucking flat. If this, science book is the flat earth, this is the lowest point. Just fucking, like, down. Like, down for you, right? And then you try to apply that logic to a sphere. It doesn't work that way. Like, that's not how it works. The answer to the question, how does this shit what keeps it from flowing into the south hemisphere? Fucking gravity. Because gravity is pushing in on all sides. So it keeps the water going to its lowest point, which the lowest point would be the center of the sphere. That's the lowest point. Water's always trying to sink into the middle of the ball. The lowest point isn't the bottom of the ball just because you want it to be there. Right? You don't understand how the gravity works on the sphere. That, like, you're looking at it like it's something on Earth. Like you're dripping water on a baseball and seeing it run down. That's not how that works. You don't have gravity like that. That baseball isn't big enough to have its own gravity pull strong enough to counteract the gravitational pull of the fucking Earth it's on, right? So, even though you're dropping that droplet of water on a baseball, it's not trying to find the lowest point on the baseball. It's trying to find the lowest point on the Earth, which is inside of the Earth in the middle. That's the lowest point. Like, I know it's kind of weird to think of things like in the reality that you live in and then translate them to the broader reality of the cosmology of the universe. Like, I understand that it's very much an ant contemplating the universe type of a thing. You have your experiences and they are thus. You drop water on a baseball, it runs to the bottom of the baseball and drops off. Because the baseball isn't big enough to have its own gravitational pull that is greater than the Earth, right? That's why it drops to the Earth and then sinks into the ground. It's trying to make its way to China. You know what I mean? Like, and not even really that, because then, again, when you hit past the center of the Earth, any point past the center of the Earth is now the lowest point from that angle on the ball. Like, you turn the ball, and when you turn the ball, the people on the top of the ball don't fall off of the ball. Like, this shit. This is another fucking great picture. This picture right here. I fucking love these pictures. Meanwhile, in Australia, everybody's literally fucking upside down, right? Because you're thinking of it like it's a baseball on the Earth, right? The Earth is more powerful. It's a far bigger ball, right? Like, you could put a baseball, like when I drop water on my nutsack, right? It stays there because it's trying to find the inside of my testicle. That's the lowest point for it, because my testicle, like my head at this point, has a bigger gravitational pull than the Earth, right? Like, that's how that would work. If you drop water on the top of my head, it's going to try to get to the middle of my skull. Because if it goes any lower than the middle of my skull, right? I can't really do it, so fuck you. But, like, you know, then it's going to be the lowest point again, because it's a three-dimensional fucking object we live on. Alright, so there's gravity, right? Like, we've got the discussion of gravity. Now, because you guys don't believe in gravity, right? Looking at your model again, because you guys don't believe in gravity, what exactly is it that keeps the sun and the moon up there and spinning? Like, the only response I've gotten, and literally this is actually a response I've fucking gotten, the response I've gotten is, well, we don't know. Well, fucking are any of you trying to figure it out? Like, because it kind of, like, your model destroys your whole idea of your model. If shit fucking falls, like, if we're in Australia and shit's upside down, how the fuck is the sun and the moon not, like, rotating, dragging them fucking selves through the earth? Why isn't there a giant flaming rut in the equator? Oh, and to explain the equator, for those who are asking, why is it really cold in the middle and then hot in the like, it's really cold in the hub, and as you go wintershins towards the rim, right? You know, in the center, in like the mid rim, as I would call it, or the ring. Ooh, that's a good name. The ring, right? The ring is so warm because that's where the sun is directly above. As it spins around inside of the dome, right? Like, it's, you know, you start with the conclusion, you come up with the way that the conclusion works, and then when people poke holes in it, you adjust your conclusion so that it fits still, right? That's how lying works. So that's why it's cold on the rim, right? Because the rim is right up next to the dome, and apparently the dome is like fucking really cold. Like, it's a really fucking, it's an ice dome, right? And there's this big ice wall that is patrolled at all times by the Navy. The whole circumference, the largest portion, the largest landmass on the flat Earth, the actual ice wall rim, the largest landmass there is patrolled at all times by the Navy. We have that much money. How you guys remind me of Democrats, I'll never understand. Except that. But, so, there you go. And that is what keeps the water from running off the edge. The ice wall. And the sun being directly above the earth like that is what keeps the middle of it warm, right? And it's what keeps the water all the way up to the very edge, which is ice, because again, ice dome. So there you go. But seriously, like, what keeps them from falling out of the fucking sky? And what keeps them, like, they're spinning, right? So there's got to be some degree of centrifugal force there. So how do they keep from just fucking flying the fuck out of the dome? I mean, it's just an ice dome. It could break through the ice. So, like, how the fuck... How doesn't that just happen? Like, I don't get it. And you guys don't know. Like, I have a full-on explanation for how my sun and moon fucking work in my system. I have full fucking explanations for that. With mathematics, if you're willing to learn it. But you guys don't fucking know. I'm confused as to why you're upset I'm calling you stupid. But whatever, alright. So, but anyway, so looking back at the model again. Right? So, like, we're going to pretend like this is reality, right? Now, I get it. You're looking at, you know, where you are in America. Like, right, if you're like me, you're trying to find where you are on this model. And you're looking up at the sun going, okay, well, there's the sun. But, like, if I turn, you know, 180 degrees to my right or left and look up, there should be the fucking moon. So why can't I see the moon? like kind of at all times, because I'm in North America, if you're in North America, and so, you know, like for those of you in Australia, which, let's be honest here, doesn't exist because you guys are all paid NASA actors. For those of you in Australia, you know, you would never see the moon during the day. But the people in Canada would always see the sun and moon. They would always see the sun and moon. They would always see the sun and moon. They would always see it. People in Russia, like northern Russia, they would always see the sun and moon. They would always see it. They would always see it. They would always see it. In your model, they would always see it. Explain that to me. In your model, they would always see it. They would always, like, how do people in Canada not just film for 24 hours the sun and the moon rotating around it? Like, why wouldn't they just film that and go, duh, flat earth? You guys are pretty shitty on your fucking scientific proofs. But anyways, moving on. The stars. The stars act funny. We have different constellations and different parts of the disk, right? In Australia, they see a totally different set of constellations than we do here in America, right? Because as you can see on their model, Australia is on another complete end of the fucking dome or the disk from us. We're towards the middle, we're hubward, right? And they're far more Wittershins, right? They're rimward. They're far closer to the rim. Like trying to act like this is whatever. All right. So they see a totally different set of constellations than we do. How the fuck does that happen? Now, for this part, I'm gonna steal somebody else's video. So enjoy.
A stationary disk and a sky dome with stars on top of it. We place the camera. Now we rotate the dome. Something is wrong. The center of rotation is way up in the sky. While on a spherical Earth, Polaris can be close to the horizon depending on our position on the Earth. Flat Earthers say due to perspective the celestial pole gets closer to the horizon. But also moving the camera closer to the edge would not make a lot of difference. Okay, let's just ignore this and bring it down by squashing the dome. We want to make this happen. Okay, now it looks kind of similar. But the stars below the celestial pole are now closer together than above it. Yeah, you can sometimes see that on images with camera distortion also. Wait, can you see the arrows close to the horizon? All arrows close to the horizon are going parallel to it. Remember the recording? See the stars that are dipping below the horizon? Something is wrong. Let's do something bold. Let's turn our head on a spherical Earth 90 degrees to the right. What's that? Stars appearing straight from the horizon? Are there any real recordings of that? Yes, there are. If you turn your head on a flat Earth, there's no change. I wonder why flat earthers not simply say the Earth is flat and there is a sky sphere. It would explain nearly everything we can see. Oh wait. OMG. Another celestial pole? Visible from the surface? Yes, on the southern hemisphere you can see it. Different constellations. No Polaris. Oh, and the stars are rotating clockwise. Everybody with a camera can test that. Flat Earth has only one celestial pole. So why are there still flat earthers?
Alright, you gotta forgive me for a second. The company that does my power came by, and I guess something's going on. So they needed me to sit and listen to a lady on a phone for like 10 minutes. So I don't really remember exactly where it was. I think we just finished watching the little video clip that I got. Yeah, what do you say to that shit? This is pretty much what I got for that. Like that. There you go. Like, don't tell me that shit's Photoshop. That's kind of like my one. I'm begging you, like, just for my own sanity, I'm begging you to not look at that shit and go, well, all of those other images are Photoshop. Like, just please don't do that, because, like, that's such a fucking cop-out. Like, seriously, make your model explain why natural phenomena are happening. Like, that's all I ask. Make your model explain why natural phenomena happen. I'm gonna give you a hint. Take a baseball and you cup your hands around it, right?